guys, Mark here with another fragrance review, this time on the designer house of Chanel, and this is from their Privé line, their high-end line, the line that's available only in boutiques. This one called from Chanel La Ligne Exclusive, which means in English the exclusive line. This one right here is my very first purchase from this line. This one called Sycomore. This is a huge, mega big 6.8 ounce bottle of this stuff. This is before they actually introduced the smaller 2.5 ounces. You see a couple behind me here, Cuir de Russie, Bois des Îles, I just purchased recently from Chanel. This line, the exclusive line, is mainly advertised as a woman's only line. They really are trying to promote this line as a woman's based fragrances. You can tell also unisex in a way. A lot of their fragrances, guys, don't be shy from this exclusive line. A lot of them got a lot of man in them. This one especially, Sycomore vetiver based fragrance. Usually vetiver is on the men's section of notes, not in the women's section, hardly. But I really think this is more tippy-toeing more in the masculine side of things than the women's side of things for Sycomore, but can be worn by both sexes. Now, not many know this about Sycomore, but Sycomore was one of the original Chanels. It was released in the 1930s for women, actually. Soon after was axed from the line, kind of discontinued and kind of forgotten about from the Chanel line. Now, almost 80 years later, we see the brand new Sycomore, the one right in front of me here. This one, of course, made by Parfumier Jacques Polge and helped by Christopher Sheldrake, two excellent noses. The original had that classic aldehyde vetiver combo going on. Really more of a feminine than a masculine, to be honest with you guys, with a different nose, of course. Mr. Ernest Beau, which the man that created Chanel No. 5. So this guy has a huge reputation. This is made with different ingredients, different parfumiers. This is a whole different breed right here. So guys, let's get to it. Let's delve into Sycomore. Let's take a look at presentation, the bottle in the box for Chanel Sycomore. The box itself, this is huge because it's a huge bottle, 200 mils. You got the Chanel logo in here embossed. Very plain box for the exclusives, but nice and elegant. You got some information at the bottom here, Eau de Toilette, Sycomore, all this information here. You open it up, and very thick and hard. You can place your bottle in this if you'd like, and it shuts tight, really close, really nicely done. It says Chanel right here. Now let's take a look at the bottle. Now this is a huge bottle. If you are, if Sycomore is not going to be your signature scent, or you're a collector like me, they finally introduced these smaller bottles. This is Cuir de Russie. As you can see, a huge difference from bottle size here. This is definitely get the smaller bottles now that they're available. So let's take a look at it. Of course, very simple and plain. White sticker, Sycomore Chanel Paris. The stereotypical black Chanel tops. You got a sticker at the bottom, and that's it. And this cap is, of course, magnetic. Beautiful, love it. And sprayer, decent. No complaints here. Let's get to the review of Sycomore. Now let's take a look at bottle sizes for Sycomore. Two bottle sizes. You got the 2.5 ounce, the smaller bottles, which they finally introduced to this exclusive line, which is great. It's a godsend for guys like me. I hardly want this much juice of one fragrance, unless it's a signature scent. Sycomore is one of those fragrances for me. It's once in a lifetime, once in a while that I wear it. It's not really in the rotation quite a bit. It is in the rotation, but not that much. This one, of course, the 6.8 ounce, the mega big bottle. You're looking at pricing $130 to $230 American to purchase Sycomore. This one's an Eau de Toilette in EDT. Just to let you guys know, this is not an Eau de Parfum. So quite pricey as far as getting this for cheaper. I would say just get a big bottle like this and split it. That's your best bet. Chanel really just, their distribution is like none other. You're not going to find this stuff really that cheaper than what I just quoted. It hit the shelf back in 2008. Has it been in any of my top 20 lists? Yes, just recently I made my spring top 20 niche for 2013. It made it at number 15. So vetiver, as you guys know, is not really one of my strong points as far as notes go. And in the niche business, as far as top 20s go, it's hard to crack a top 20 if you're vetiver-based fragrances. Designer, it's kind of different. Encre Noire is one of my favorites, and this is actually compared to Encre Noire. But Encre Noire has an easier time cracking a top 20 than this guy. Now, group, this is a woody fragrance. Definitely all woods here. Vetiver all the way. Perfumier, of course, in-house perfumier Jacques Pudge, and he had a little bit of help with his friend Christopher Sheldrake. Recommended age for Sycomore, I'm gonna say a little older, 25 and up, and it definitely fits an older man like great. But if you're younger than 25, guys, don't be shy. I just think that anybody that's a teenager who's gonna go check out a Chanel boutique, especially if you're not near one, for the price tag and for the type of juice that you're getting, really anybody under 25, maybe not. If vetiver is in your blood, if you love vetiver and you're under 25, check this one out. This is probably one of your holy grails. Now, how many sprays and where? I go a little less with Sycomore. Sycamore is a beastly juice for me. I go 1 on the chest, 2 on the neck, right behind my ears. I'm good to go, 3 sprays. Now the notes. The note breakdown on Sycomore, there's a lot of confusion with the note breakdowns. Some websites have the old note breakdown of the 1930s Sycomore, and some people add a couple notes here and there. I'm going to tell you guys what I smell in this fragrance, and those are going to be the notes, basically. Top notes, we got juniper and aldehydes. Even though aldehydes is listed in the old 1930s juice, I believe Chanel has sprinkled a little bit of aldehydes in here. That's their famous note in most of their fragrances, especially on the woman's side. Don't think they took away aldehydes out of this fragrance. Mid, of course, vetiver, cypress, pink pepper, and in the base we got sandalwood. So guys, let's delve into Sycomore. I'm gonna sniff this one out. All right, guys, time to sniff out a Sycomore from Chanel. Let's do a little spritz here on my hand and see what I get. Now, Sycomore, man, this stuff is bonkers. If you're a vetiver hater, you're gonna throw up at the smell of this stuff. If you're a vetiver lover, like Dan the man, your boxers are gonna fall. So let's sniff this one out. God, the first thing that hits your nose, you can't miss it, is the vetiver. The vetiver is front and center from top to bottom on this scent. Damn, it's right there, and it's beautiful. It's big, it's bold, it's punching, and it's going to give you a headache if you don't like vetiver. Vetiver haters are going to throw up at this one. This is a big punching note in this fragrance. I've smelt quite a few big punching notes. This one is one of those. Definitely punching. Huge. Now, vetiver lovers, they're going to swoon at this stuff. They're going to be like, whew, this is great stuff. Now, it comes off a little bright off the top, just a little bit. Some say there's citrus in this introduction. Some say other stuff. Some say this. I believe even though aldehydes are not listed in the new Sycomore, but they are listed in the old one, I think that signature aldehydic note from Chanel is in the top of Sycomore. I really feel like it has that fizzy, bright aldehydic note in Sycomore. It's not a signature note in this fragrance. It's not big and punching, but it's there, and it kind of gives you that brightness, almost fizzy, citrusy, and really aromatic. Now, that is completely destroyed by the vetiver in this intro. It really throws this fragrance down to earth. No pun intended. It's an earthy fragrance too. But it is a perfect match to that earthy, smoky vetiver that you're getting in this. That's green, earthy, and smoky. At this top, it's almost fooling you that this is going to be a bright yellow, uplifting fragrance with that green vetiver coming out. But a few minutes in, you know what a mistake that was, thinking that this is going to be bright and fizzy. No, it's going to be dark, and this is a dark one. The woody, rooty ways of vetiver really take over in this fragrance, as I really haven't seen that in many fragrances, vetiver-based fragrances. This one, Encre Noire, really shows that rooty, dark, earthy, almost pulling those vetiver roots right out of the earth, and you're shaking the earth all over, trying to clean off the vetiver roots. Yeah, this is what this smells like. Now, in the mid, once this transforms, the vetiver, again, center stage. It will be center stage. You get all the great qualities of vetiver. If you love vetiver, punch you in the nose at full speed, again in the mid. The vetiver gets smoky, but just enough here. I really didn't feel like this was overly a smoky fragrance, but it has a really good punch. Some note breakdowns have tobacco as a note in this fragrance, and that's how kind of smoky this fragrance comes out. I can see where you get that from the smoke in this fragrance, but that smoke's actually from the vetiver. The creamy sandalwood comes up to match this vetiver. This includes a little bit of cypress in here, almost amplifying the woody aspects of the vetiver in Sycomore. So it's getting really woody, it's getting really dark, really nice. At this stage, every single time I wear Sycomore, I tell myself, this is the best vetiver on the market for vetiver lovers. Definitely. The mid here shows not only the smoky side of Haitian vetiver, but the green earthy dryness of vetiver. You really smell the vetiver root out of this one. Being pulled out of the damp earth, it's very much rooty. Almost like black ink. You know how you get that from Encre Noire just because you're thinking of ink because it's in the name. But this one also has that almost a dark, rooty black ink thing going on. In the mid, it starts getting a bit of cream from the sandalwood, or sweetness. Some compare this to a chocolate-like sweetness. Now, a lot of people are thinking, you know, a patchouli-like chocolate cocoa combo here. Honestly, I haven't really smelled much chocolate in here. There's some sweetness, but it does have a bit of like a nuttiness to it also, almost hazelnutty, so I could see why some people are thinking that, like kind of like Nutella. There's also a bit of spice coming out, almost giving the scent of peppery-like spice with the vetiver. Really interesting fragrance, definitely in the mid. Really nice Sycomore. In the base, not much changes here. It just dries down from what the mid gave you, the heavy vetiver. You're getting that creamy sandalwood, a little bit of sweetness, just enough, a little hazelnutty kind of thing going, a little bit of spice, and that just kind of dries down, kind of linear way to end the fragrance. So guys, let's get to the overview, and I'm going to give you guys my 2 cents. Welcome to the overview on Sycomore. The first thing I'm going to tackle is this and Encre Noire. They're often compared to each other, including myself. They're very close. They have the same type of blueprint. Honestly, if you're on a budget, guys, buy Encre Noire, not this. But again, if you're a vetiver lover, smell them both. But if you're on a budget, Encre Noire will do just fine for you. The changes from this to Encre Noire are minimal at best. If you're a vetiver lover, a fragrance lover, try both. You will find some differences, but to just a regular consumer, if you like vetiver, get Encre Noire. It's much cheaper. Now, Encre Noire at times kind of felt out of control with the notes. It seems in Sycomore, Chanel, they do their own thing, and with Chanel, they kind of cleaned up the Encre Noire DNA, made it a little more vibrant, a little more authentic. It's slightly sweeter than Encre Noire, I felt, and slightly better balanced. That's about it. Is it worth your extra $70 to $80 to get a bottle of this over Encre Noire? That is up to you. That's not up to me. I'm just telling you what they both smell like in a way. This, of course, Sycamore's heavily vetiver-based fragrance from top to finish. You're not going to lose the vetiver in this fragrance. It's going to be up front and center all day, every day. Vetiver lovers, you must, look, I'm fixing my glasses, you must sniff this. This is for you. There is talks of this being reformulated. A lot of fragrances do get those type of talks, but I can't really confirm or deny those talks. I really think this is released, what, in 2008? Already been reformulated? I don't know. I don't think so, but you never know. Vetiver sometimes comes across as being boring and old manish to me, and to a lot of viewers out there, I'm sure it does. It really feels like I'm a little young for this note. This is for an older man. Not with Sycomore. This is complex. It's got depth to it. It kind of makes me fall in love with the vetiver. Really dark, spicy, earthy, sweet even. This reminds me of a daring man, not an old boring man. So, you know, if you've smelt a lot of vetivers in your day and you're just like, this is, you know, kind of boring, it's not up my alley, try this. This is very complex, very, it's going to keep you entertained. Arguably the best vetiver on the market today. Definitely in my list, this is a top 5, dead or alive, in the vetiver game. I would be hard pressed, but not putting this in my top 5. Definitely top 5. It's deep, it's thick, it's dense, it's rich, and it's heavy. The Chanel brand is all up in this fragrance. It's really high quality. Now, one little funny story with Sycomore when I was testing it out at home for last minute testing. I always do this with every fragrance review. I take a week at home and just dose myself in it and just walk around the house and see if anybody's going to say anything or anything like that. My wife smelt this on me the first day. I probably wore 4 sprays in my house, and she said, "You smell like weed. What the hell are you wearing?" So no wonder Dan loves this stuff so much. But vetiver will give you that dryness, that greenness to it, and it might bring out those type of unsolicited comments to you. So again, vetiver, this type of vetiver might be something a little more daring, and you got to be careful. That's got to be in back of your mind also. This is marketed to women. Funny enough, marketed to women, but made for a man. Women can wear it too. Definitely, I could see a woman with the love of vetiver. They can wear it too. It's a complex scent, but really come to think of it, kind of a simple mesh of notes. That vetiver kind of gave you that complexity. Vetiver is great in fragrances when it comes out like this, really complex. It gives you that smoky, that earthy, that green, that dry, damp vetiver. Really just beautiful. Chanel did a great job with Sycomore. Now, why would you hate this fragrance? Well, if you don't like vetiver-based fragrances, this is going to be, ooh, this is not going to be good. This is full octane vetiver. If you don't like vetiver, it's gonna destroy you. Dry fragrances. If you don't like that dry green feel, this is not for you either. Those would be probably the 2 main reasons why you would hate this fragrance. Bottles. I gotta say, Encre Noire. These guys are cousins, not distant cousins, close cousins. Are really close. Best time to wear Sycomore. I felt like rainy days. This did really well. And this can go for cooling and warm days. I really felt like Sycomore, even though it's really thick, dry, dense, it did well in the warm weather, and it did really well in the cool weather, and everything in between. But that's why I made my top spring, just because on rainy days this is absolutely gorgeous stuff. You know, the earth comes out, the green and the wetness. This goes really well with that. Cooler months, it does really well on me. It's got great longevity and projection, so I can wear this in the thick of winter. Going out at night, this is when I usually wear it. Compliment factor, with Sycomore, mid to low. Kind of disappointing in the compliment factor. Again, I don't really control the compliment factor myself, so you know, even though I give a glaring review to a fragrance, compliment factor could be down in the dumps. This one, I'll be honest with you guys, mid to low. Really not that great. Nobody wanted to purchase this fragrance. Nobody really wanted to know the name. I got a few comments that were kind of left field, kind of like what my wife said. You smell like weed. You know, not anything really that positive. So mid to low with compliment factor. My 2 cents on Sycomore. I remember back when I said this was my worst blind buy ever, just because of price, of how much juice I got, and how much I'm not even going to touch this bottle. How wrong was I? I really felt like I was always a huge advocate of saying get Encre Noire instead of Sycomore. Now with heavy testing with both fragrances, especially with this one recently, I was wrong. I really like Sycomore. I love it. I think this is one of the best Chanels for men. Funny enough, it's on the women's section. Yeah, one of the best vetiver-based fragrances on the market today, bar none, for men. Funny enough, it wasn't made for men, it was made for women. If you hate vetiver, this one's going to take you down. I really discovered this at the right time after testing numerous vetivers. I was really in the right place when I first smelt this and first started testing this fragrance. You know, I smelt so many vetivers in my day, and finally, it was really late in my vetiver discovering days. I probably bought this, what, 2010, 2011 maybe, give or take. So, you know, I wasn't into vetivers. I really didn't like them. Encre Noire, great vetiver. That's when I first started getting into them, and this one I purchased that at that time. So it was really a good time to purchase it. So if you're in that type of journey that you haven't smelled too many vetivers and then you smell this and you think it's disgusting or gross, I feel you. I know what you're talking about. Get back to it. You know, vetiver might not be your type of note, but after a while I fell in love with this, and wow, those are two great vetivers. Buy, try, or pass. Sycomore, if you're checking out the exclusive line, I think you should dart right to this. Try this one out first out of all of them, especially if you're a man. This is the manliest one. Cuir de Russie is awesome. Coromandel is great for us too. There's a few more, but this one is probably the manliest one of the whole bunch, and you gotta sniff it out. I'm going with a buy with this one, just because it's one of the best in class. This is a definite buy. High marks for me. This is great. This is probably going to be a perfect score as far as a overall score on this one. This one might make the perfect 10 club. So guys, let's get to the rating system and see if this guy does make the perfect 10. Thanks for watching, YouTube. Alright guys, let's rate Sycomore from Chanel. As you can see, for projection longevity, great score across the board here. 9 bottles out of 10 for projection. This is almost beast mode, pretty damn close. Really high projection on this one. Longevity, 10 out of 10. Great longevity, 7 to 10 hours any given wearing, and sometimes 10 plus hours. It keeps going and going and going. Versatility, this is where it's going to hurt. 5 bottles out of 10. This is a big punching vetiver note. Sometimes it's hard to wear and you kind of have to think, where am I going today? Should I wear this? Overall smell, this one's going to get 10 bottles out of 10. This is one of the best in its genre, so I'm ignoring the compliment factor. That's really bad on this one. I'm giving it a 10. It's a great vetiver. Seasons, mostly fall, winter, and I wear this a lot in the spring. This is one, if not the best vetiver on the market today. It's got a big punching vetiver, so keep in mind, just because I give it a perfect score of a 10, you guys do not blind buy this fragrance. Definitely stiffen it out before you purchase it. It's not for everyone. It's big and punching, and it's a complex vetiver. Really nicely done. Overall, Sycomore, welcome to the Perfect 10 Club, my friend. You are getting a 10 out of 10.